y'all? It's your girl, Patrina Dixon. I am recording live at Podfest 25. I am here in Orlando, Florida, and I am excited about this episode. Before we go into it, make sure if you're not subscribed and you're watching this, you hit that red subscribe button. And wherever you're listening to it on audio, make sure you're following your girl because she brings forth content that will help you in your financial and entrepreneurship journey. And with me today, and I met her here at Podfest, I have Adrienne. What's up, Adrienne?
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Thank you for being on the show. So
Yes,
we are in the Podfest podcasting studio. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Has a lot of great setup. All you have to do is come here with your guests and get your show on. So, Adrienne, our show today is going to be about conferences.
Mm-hmm.
We're at a Podfest conference, but there are many conferences that are available throughout the year. So before we get into the topic, tell them a little bit about yourself.
So I am a Colorado native. I've lived all over the U.S., even in China and outside the world. I now live here in Florida, and basically, for my day job, I am a software system integration consultant, independent. So I have variable income, and it's contract by contract basis. And at the same time, I wanted to get more into content creation, into finance for single women millennials.
I love it. I love it. Did y'all hear that? She used to live in China. I love that. I love that so much. And we're both now Floridian. And we are here in Florida at Podfest. So the topic today is conferences, not just Podfest, but any conference. We're going to talk about how do you prepare for conferences, both mentally and financially, and then what you should expect when you're there. So let's talk about, give them the tip of how to prepare. So when they start their new year, conferences come about, we get emails. In our emails, we get texts, we get stuff off our social media about various different conferences for finances, for podcasting, for whatever it is that somebody's in, whatever industry. Talk to us about how one should plan for their year as it pertains to conferences.
Well, for one, if you're like me, you want to go to everything, but you can't afford to go to everything, whether that is finance or time, because you still have to work. When you work, you sometimes don't get paid. And for me, that's, if I don't work, I don't get paid.
That's what I'm talking about. No money,
PTO is lovely when you're an employee, but not when you're independent. So I have to really think about what can I afford this year and what is my absolute goals for this year. So for me, in 2025, the biggest thing is to build my YouTube channel, my financial channel, her financial health. So I have to look at all the things that are going to help me with that. As well as I take at least 1 or 2 self-care, self-retreats every year. I try to plan those in there. And so for me, Podfest is self-care. I don't really come here for revenue. It is the amazing people and relationships I get here and just the vibe of this convention and being able to connect everybody and being able to be a podcast guest like I am today,
Yes.
and to meet people and to learn. And so with that, I will then plan out, okay, 3 to 4 conferences, 1 or 2 travel, because I love to travel.
Yeah.
And so if I can put travel and the convention together, it's a win-win.
We love win-wins. And if you
Win-wins.
heard what she said,
Yeah.
you know I always say your network contributes to your net worth. So you have to put your places in the rooms and spaces and conferences in order to grow your network and nurture those relationships as well.
Yes.
So that's great. I love combining the two. I love traveling and I love fine dining. So when I can put those two together in a place where I'm going to a conference, it's all great. I love it. It's so much. So you're saying 3 to 4,
Yes.
You go to a year. Okay,
Yes.
so you plan that out at the beginning. You know where they're going to be. Are they
Yes.
recurring conferences or ones that you find out in that given year?
They're usually, I found out before the beginning of the year. I found out during the previous year and I was like, oh, that's cool. But it wasn't in my budget or my plan. So no.
I love
And
it.
If it's not in your budget or plan, don't do it.
You better talk about it. She's speaking my language, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's not in your budget or plan, don't do it.
Yeah.
There's always next year.
Yeah. So now you have the 3 or 4 you want to go to.
Yes.
Self-care, knowledge, networking, and hopefully, like you said, to grow your YouTube channel as well. So then how do you go about planning for those conferences for the year that you're in?
Yes. And so if you're not an employee and you don't get paid time off and you're independent like me or got variable income, you want to place them out your year of moments where you're okay with not getting paid and paying yourself from your budget. Hopefully all of you have a budget line item if you have variable income or independent, where it's a PTO or income fund that you
Let
pay
me
yourself.
give me a high five.
Yes.
Pay yourself. Y'all know. Those of you that are in the It's My Money community, pay yourself first, right? You got to make sure that you're doing that. And then, is it in your budget? Some conferences may not be the right conference if one, it's not in your budget and or not contributing to whatever it is the reason you go to conferences for. So make sure that it's hitting those. You're getting the green yeses for the things that you want. Is it the self-care? Is it the revenue generation? Is it the network building? If it's just the conference and it's one that you've gone to in the past but it doesn't fit, then maybe it's not the conference you should attend. But then go ahead.
Yes, definitely. And so for me, because of that, I'm a contract based, and I do one per quarter. I try not to do more than that.
One per quarter.
One per
I love
quarter,
it.
and it's maybe up to 5 days.
Okay.
Because I also like making money, and so I don't like taking off more than 5 days of having some income. That's just me.
Yes.
But everybody's different. You do you.
Yes.
But that's why I try to do so that way I'm still getting consistent income every quarter,
Mhm.
or it's about the same.
Okay.
Right. So it's not impacting my daily bills or
Yeah.
my other financial goals that I've already set aside for that money.
Okay.
Right. So that's the first thing to think about. So I have one every quarter. So this quarter it's Podfest. So with Podfest, I am thinking about what are all the expenses that I'm going to need to be able to attend this convention, right?
Yes.
One is the biggest one, the biggest two are the flight. Even flight, I don't think is the biggest. I think hotel stay.
Hotel stay
The
for
stay
sure.
is the most expensive.
Yes.
The most expensive. So the
Yes.
thing I think about is like, how much is that going to cost me? But
Mhm.
how also have I exhausted all my other alternative cheaper options?
Yes.
Like, do I have friends that I could stay with from my previous convention?
Yes.
Will they let me stay with them? Can we
Yes.
be in the same hotel room?
Yes.
Can I get a discount through the convention through their special code?
Yeah. Do you have points on a
Yes.
credit card?
Points.
Or,
Yeah, points is
with
going.
the
I'm a Hilton
hotel that you're
Honors,
staying?
and I own a timeshare with Hilton. So yes,
So
I
all
use
of
that
those
first.
things, all of those things you want to take into consideration, right? And another thing, I know, when a financial BFF of mine, we used to go to the same financial conference, and we would be in the room together. Even if one got there before the other, that helped defray the costs for the particular hotel for that particular conference. And she's right; that's one of the biggest line items as it pertains to paying going to a conference is the hotel cost. But as you mentioned, there's ways that you could subsidize that by way of the points, by way of staying with friends. If it happens to be in the state you're in, you can just drive. Well, I still have to pay for the hotel for being here, but it was a drive. I didn't have to fly, so that was a really good thing. So now you talked about the where you're staying. What about getting here?
So getting here, yeah. So like again, you could go with the points again, even if you have like a hotel card or any other card. A lot of them also have now travel options where you can use that for other things.
Yes.
Almost all. It's like a whole thing now. Now with the reward options, I will say this little tidbit is don't have 1,000 cards with reward options. Have one or two. I know people have said that, but that is like my pet peeve. Do not have as many credit cards just to get rewards.
Yeah.
Keep the ones that are really what you're going to use and you get the most points for.
Okay.
Right? Or you like the customer service. I just love Hilton. Their customer service is beyond. And American Express.
And even if you're driving, right? And you're coming, like for me, this particular podcast was a drive. Are there other people where I live that are coming? So maybe we could, have the cost together for the gas, or even partner on driving. So if one can rest or do some content, some emails while they're driving. So other ways that you can think of, so you don't have to carry all of the expenses on your own. So we talked about the travel accommodations. We talked about the where you're sleeping while you're here. So what about the actual ticket to the conference?
So the actual ticket to the conference, that there's actually, again, never think that you just have to pay for something.
Yes.
In life, I have realized with everything is a negotiation. There's always deals. I'm a deal. Maybe because my parents were military, we always were the clipping coupon types. Like I could find a deal. People come to me like, Adrienne, I'm looking for this particular. I know you can find it cheaper. I can.
Yes, that's right. You want to make sure you get her contact information once we're done here.
So like even with Podfest, Podfest a lot of times gives out codes to get a cheaper ticket.
Yeah.
Or you can volunteer for the conference, and and they will give you a free ticket. And you usually don't have to volunteer the entire conference. Like I used to be part of National Society of Black Engineers. I went to their conference, and I think I've only paid like twice.
Yeah.
Because they'll pay for your full ticket.
Yeah.
Right.
So be a greeter the first day.
I didn't pay for my ticket
A lot of the
today.
activities don't go on the first day. Be a greeter for the first day. That it will help you grow your network. You meet people. You ask, share who you are, ask who they are, and then the next few days, now you're enjoying the conference for free because you volunteered your time on the first day. And again, usually first day is about people checking in, registering, and all that cool stuff. And then maybe there's something on that evening. So that's another way that you could attend a conference without paying for the ticket to attend. And then what other expenses? So we gotta eat.
Yes.
Adrienne, we gotta eat.
Yes.
Yeah. So what's your tip for that?
Well, for me personally, I will say this: I'm the most pickiest eater. I have a texture thing, and I have a sensitive stomach, so I can't eat out every day. So again, I try to find accommodation where they have a kitchen, and I'm close to like a grocery store, or I could have it delivered by like Instacart or something like that, which will still save me money. And then I package things like when I went to Dragon Con one year, I just packaged a whole bunch of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Yeah, that's what I ate. That's what I ate for like 5 days, and I was totally fine with it.
Queen, right? So I go because I like snacks and movies after I'm done with everything, and I go and shower, and I'm in for the evening. I want to grab out my snacks. I want to grab out my favorite soft drink.
Yes,
and so I bring that stuff with me. So I will go and have a nice dinner because hopefully I'm doing that with somebody at the conference that I wanted to meet. I'm grabbing a coffee with someone. So I do put aside money for those things. So and sometimes, and especially if I'm asking somebody to meet me, maybe I pick up the coffee, right? Because that's the price of doing business. So it's things like that that you want to consider. So you just again budget. Ensure that you're monitoring your cash flow, whatever the word you want to use for expenses like that tied to coming to a conference. So we got food, we got the ticket, we got where we're sleeping. Anything else that we want to talk about that comes with the financial side of attending a conference?
The things that you don't think about, like I didn't for this Podfest, is though I got my ticket paid for because I volunteered. But what I did not think about was like because I'm not staying at this hotel, I had to pay for parking, and I did not put it in my budget, so that was not good planning on my part.
Okay, parking.
You sometimes forget about parking at hotels.
Yes.
So I try to find parking where parking's free at a hotel if you stay there. But you got to remember those things. Parking.
Yes.
Right. Tolls. I'm telling you, Florida has 1,000 tolls.
Yes.
Yes. And do not go through those tolls because you will pay like a $30 fine.
Exactly right.
And it will find you by your what's that thing on the back of your car? By your license plate.
Yes, exactly right.
They will find you.
So that's a good parking tolls. Those are great.
Another thing that you want to be able to budget for is the variable spending, which again is really the food. So what I do is I also carry cash envelope. I do cash envelope when I go to conventions. I have it actually in there. So like I'm gonna tell you right now, it says vacation.
Yes.
And like I know that whatever money in here I can use for anything. That includes food. That includes the exhibitors, the vendors. You want to buy stuff. I know you say you don't, but you be in there and you're so excited. You're into everything. The vendors give you great stuff about this. You're like, oh yeah, I want to buy that. This is how I bought microphones that I probably shouldn't have.
Okay. These are actually kind of cool. I like these. But let me tell you about another expense. And this was me. I'm transparent about things that happened when I went to a conference that I had never been to before, and I didn't know what to expect. And hence why when I came back from that conference, I actually blogged about it. Now it's been several years ago. But I overpacked and did not take into consideration the swag that you would get at this specific conference, right? And I got swag. I got swag for me, for my husband, for my daughter. So I was loading up on the swag. I had to get an extra bag for all of the stuff that I had. So my tip for you is, especially at a conference like this, like Podfest, T-shirt and jeans work. Be comfortable, whatever is comfortable for you. For me, it's T-shirt, jeans, and sneakers. And then the next day, same thing. Can be in a book bag. Get the swag that you're actually going to use. Sometimes they're throw-on shirts to clean up or whatever have you. But don't grab it just to grab it. Grab it that you're going to use and it can fit in what you are traveling with, so you're not paying an additional cost. Especially if you had to fly in and you're flying, you came economically, and there's a payment for carry-on bags. In some situations, you do not want to pay for something, for a bag, for items that you got for free that you may never use again. So it's really important because we get, you go to the booth and you're like, oh, give me that T-shirt, give me that this or that bag or whatever it is. And you just want to be mindful of that. And I overpacked, I over swagged, if you will. And I found myself in the jeans and T-shirts at this conference and I had all this other attire that I thought I needed for various different intervals and things that were going on at the conference that was not needed. Now, if you're going to a conference that necessitates different outfits or you having different shoes and all that, then by all means do what you need to do. But be mindful, ask others that have been to the conference that you're going to for the first time, and make sure that you are planning your attire accordingly. Make sure you always have like a sweater because it gets cool in some of the rooms. So those are some of the things that you want to consider as well.
Yeah. And while you were talking about that, I was thinking about another expense. Another expense is because, like I said, if I can do a win-win, have travel, fun, and a conference, I will also figure out or stay extra days to do stuff around there.
Yes.
And here in Orlando, you could do so many things like
Yes.
SeaWorld. So also, if you want to do so many things while you're here and you will probably never come back to this city,
Yes.
go ahead and put that into your fun section of your budget.
That's
and when you
exactly
travel, of like being able to do these things,
Yeah.
so that you get like double experience, and you also will have both those types of memories all associated together.
Yes. And content, because
Yeah.
you want them to be experiences, the people that you meet, and things that you do at the conference. You want to make sure that you are documenting, if you will, your experience wherever you are, for whatever, if you're a content creator or if you're not and you're coming just for self-care, just so that you can reflect on meeting people and things that you remember from where you look at that particular photo. So that's really important as well. Anything else that you want to share? So we talked about how you prepare for the year. We talked about putting it in your budget. We talked about the budgeting, including things for travel, things for even if you're flying or in the same city, for where you're going to stay, so where you're sleeping, also your food, and then miscellaneous items like parking and what was the other thing you said? Parking and tolls. And then if you want to just have some excursions, so make sure that you include money for that as well. Check out the city and state that you're going to and see what's available, especially if it's a place you've never been before. See what's around the area. If you didn't drive, see if other people are going. See if there's a shuttle from the hotel. So do all of that stuff ahead of time so that you're maximizing the time when you are here. Is there anything else that you want to add, Adrienne?
No, when it comes to expenses, no, I think that's pretty good. I think the only thing I would think about, because if other Black women are like me, I'm big about my hair and certain things, right? So I also have to put in my budget. I put in a pre-budget of like, I need to get my hair done before this convention, because I ain't doing it.
Exactly right.
So I gotta look. I need that new lipstick because I want to go with my particular outfit that I'm about to wear. It was to help with the confidence, though. It's to help with the confidence, your swag, everything, so that when you come here, you feel good, smell good, everything. Like I'm really big about that.
I love it. I love it.
So many of those expenses, and stuff just costs us more. We have to plan this because we got to get on that cosmetologist schedule, so it lines up. Get those nails done so it lines up.
Exactly right. I love it. So you all, like we're gonna give it to you real. We're gonna help you along your financial journey, but we also want to make sure that you are, when you do decide to go to conferences, because they are good, that you're planning them out accordingly. You're not just going to go, you're being intentional about them. And if you are going to go for self-care purposes, do it if that's what you need to do. Just make sure you're planning accordingly so that when the conference is over, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I spent that much and it was not in my budget. So make sure that you're doing that. Most times conferences are announced well in advance that you can actually plan for it. You know how much it is, you know what it's going to be. They tell you they give you the group hotel rate, and then that you can plan within your budget accordingly. So if people want to find you, where can they find you? Where can they listen to your podcast?
Yeah, so I'm on YouTube, and it's at Her Financial Health. That's where you can listen to me. I am also on Substack with like a.
As am I. I love it. What's the name of your Substack newsletter?
It's Her Financial Health. I actually did a podcast on there, like during NanoPomo so I do have some podcast episodes on there.
I love it. So tell them again your name, the name of your show, and the name of your Substack as well.
Okay. Yep. And my name is Adrienne Baile, and my YouTube channel is Her Financial Health, and the same thing through Substack. It's Her Financial Health.
I love it. So you know who I am. And for those of you who don't, my name is Patrina Dixon. I am a financial coach, and I am the host of The Money Exchange. Or on YouTube, it's My Money with Patrina Dixon. I teach all things finance and entrepreneurship. And if you are an entrepreneur and you need money or capital for your business, check out Grants for Small Business Owners. The link will be down below wherever you're listening or watching this. On that platform, we put out a new list of grants the 15th of every month, and it has grants for for-profit businesses, nonprofits, organizations, as well as accelerators. So you want to make sure that if you are trying to grow your business, whatever that business is, you want to try to get capital grants, which is free money for your business, and you can drop down and get that list at Grants for Small Business Owners. Thank you for rocking with me as always. Have a great day.